And so I was almost like, monkey see, monkey do, because even though at the time I couldn't afford it, I tried to do whatever that person was doing, or these people were doing. And these people, or that person, are the people who were already successful. They were already doing the things that I wanted to do. And so even if they were eating at certain restaurants for lunch, or buying certain clothes, or going to certain places, and even though I couldn't afford it, I made it happen. So I would either punch them some overtime, put it on a credit card. I would find ways. And when you force yourself to find ways, you get creative, right? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there was a time where I would have to buy my suits from some garment district, in LA or Santa Ana or Orange County. And these suits, man, they're like $120, right? But that was a lot of money to me at the time. But it wasn't the cost. It wasn't the matter. It wasn't the point of trying to be bourgeois. It was a matter of just kind of walking in the footsteps and mirroring what the successful were already doing. What is up, world? Good morning. Welcome to a new day. This channel is called Sales Remastered. My name is Daniel, and I'm your host. And on this episode, what we're going to talk about is being fresh and the importance of feeling brand new, feeling clean, feeling, a step above what you normally feel. And the reason why this is going to be important is because it gives you momentum. And why momentum is so important is because momentum is what continuously pushes you to be consistent. It continuously pushes you where, you can't necessarily stop until you really, really try and stop, until you literally give up. And so really sometimes in order to even reach your success point, it's just a matter of gaining momentum. And if you can find a way to gain that momentum, slowly but surely, you'll be on your way to reach that particular destination. So before I go over the topic, let me just remind you again, this channel is Sales Remastered. It's meant for sales enthusiasts, loan officers, mortgage loan officers, purchase, refinance. Even if you're not selling financial instruments, but you do sell something, the content here is going to help you better communicate your message in a way where you're going to increase your close ratio. You're going to be better at your craft, and you're going to develop a mindset that's going to enable you to remain consistent regardless of what market, regardless of what cost there is. And so in this particular episode, what I wanted to share with you was the power and the true use of being fresh. And when I'm talking about being fresh, I'm talking about just the smallest of details, from your morning routine, to working out in the morning, to getting your car washed, to putting on a suit when you don't necessarily need to wear a suit. It's a matter of kind of conditioning your mindset to be within this particular lifestyle, this particular brand, if you will. And this is your swag, it's your theme. And you're gonna notice that not every top producer necessarily uses that to gain momentum, but they just are wired in a little bit of a different way. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is a hack that I followed before, where I had to find somebody who was actually already achieving the success that I really wanted to experience. I wanted to make the 10K plus month. I wanted to have the finest cars, the finest clothes, the name brand stuff. I was foo-foo when I was young, And so anyway, I wanted all that. And I tried years of trial and error and trying to figure it out on my own. And then what I learned from a mentor was, hey, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to fix it if it's not broke. Just find someone who's doing it and mirror them. And so I did. And so I was almost like, monkey see, monkey do, because even though at the time I couldn't afford it, I tried to do whatever that person was doing, or these people were doing. And these people, or that person, are the people who were already successful. They were already doing the things that I wanted to do. And so even if they were eating at certain restaurants for lunch, or buying certain clothes, or going to certain places, and even though I couldn't afford it, I made it happen. So I would either punch them some overtime, put it on a credit card. I would find ways. And when you force yourself to find ways, you get creative, right? And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there was a time where I would have to buy my suits from some garment district, in LA or Santa Ana or Orange County. And these suits, man, they're like $120, right? But that was a lot of money to me at the time, but it wasn't the cost. It wasn't the matter. It wasn't the point of trying to be bourgeois. It was a matter of just kind of walking in the footsteps and mirroring what the successful were already doing. And so little subtleties and little details like that is what made the difference. And I also noticed that a lot of them would wake up in the morning and they'd go to the gym and they'd be health conscious. They wouldn't necessarily go and eat fast food, right? Because they cared about their body and they had the money to do so. And so again, I started switching up my habits and changing my lifestyle. Even though that did cost a little bit more money, what happens is when you become conditioned to live a specific way, or it's kind of like when before you started renting your own house, or before you had the car payment that you have right now. Before that was it was unfathomable, right? It was unbelievable. You'd be like, man, how am I gonna afford this? And then what happens? You just adapt and you figure out a way to afford it. You see, it's the little things like that creates momentum. Because if I would have never made the decision to buy those cheap suits, I would have never made the decision to want to upgrade to finer suits. If I never made the decision to stay, clean, stay sharp, I would have never wanted to advance and get even sharper and get even cleaner. Does that make sense? And so because I started changing my appearance on the outside and changing how I thought on the inside, I gravitated towards the right groups. I actually started moving different. Meaning, I used to hang around with kind of sloppy people, right? Like just didn't care, thuggish, want to smoke weed all day. It was cool to play games all day. What do you want to do on the weekend? Let's go hang out and just, sit at the mall or whatever and just burn up a gang of time. But when you start shifting your thoughts, your habits in the right direction, you start gravitating towards people who are doing the most with their time, and they're actually building something that is worthwhile. And that's where your career comes in. That's where the momentum comes in. And once you start gaining momentum and you start feeling the momentum, meaning you are naturally, you're progressively moving forward day after day, week after week, month after month. Now it's just about maintaining the momentum. And sometimes it gets so easy to maintain momentum that you can autopilot it, meaning you can automate it. You can delegate certain things when before, right, it seemed weird. It seemed so hard to accomplish that. But all it took and all it required was the initiating the momentum. And so it's little things like that. It's little, subtle details like how you dress, how you appear, how you think, how you talk, who you surround yourself with, that make a world of a difference. So I invite you right now, even though you might be like, yo, but D, I got no money to buy, a Ted Baker suit. I got no money to buy, whatever it is, a fine sedan or luxury car. That's okay. You don't need to right now, but you just need to be on track to want to do it, right? You need to hang around people who already have it. You need to hang around people who are already wearing the fine suits. And you might have to start off with something cheap, maybe go to Kohl's, go to Marshall's, get a little knockoff suit. That's okay. It's a matter of just feeling what it's like. Because when you put yourself in those shoes, you start changing your appearance. You start changing your identity. And you might be like, yo, but D, man, I'm 100. I'll keep it 100. I'm original. Whatever, boo-boo. The point is that you need to get yourself in the position where you walk, talk, and act like the person that you're trying to become, right? It's not a matter of just being 100 or being real. It's a matter of actually just actually taking action and doing what you need to do so you can do what you want to do. So I hope that made sense. I hope this message finds you well, and regardless of what platform you're catching the message on, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever it is, definitely add me to your feed. Hit that subscription button, hit the bell, hit the likes, and I appreciate you in advance for commenting and sharing these videos with someone else who needs to see them. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.